let's talk about Hallow Road. Now, Hallow Road, I think the main selling point for this film, for you to go into the cinema to go watch it, and I think even the main selling point when they made this film was it all takes place in a car. So if you remember the film Lock with Tom Hardy, a little
Yeah.
bit like that, but this time there's two people in the car, and and it's Matthew Rhys and Rosamund Pike. And when you meet them, they are a well-to-do sort of like couple. Let me put it this way: they have two cars. One of them is a Range Rover, and one of them is a BMW, that kind of thing. And they get a call from their daughter, and they get a call from the daughter, and she's panicked because something has happened. Something has happened, and they're like, "Oh my god, what is going on? Okay? Where are you? We'll come and meet you. Where are you? Tell us where we are. You will come and meet you." And they start in the house. They get into the car, and then the almost the entirety of the film is them driving to where their daughter is to try and pick her up, being on the phone with her saying, "What's going on? Let's try and do this." Rosamund Pike's character is a paramedic, and so she tries to talk her daughter through some stuff. And but then you start finding out that before the film started, there had been a fight between parents and daughter. There's like some sort of tension between husband and wife. And all this stuff comes out as you're going along with the journey. And then stuff starts happening, like you start hearing weird guttural noises that sound like there might be a monster where their daughter is. But you don't see any of this, you just hear this through the phone. And it just carries on going and going. This film is only 80 minutes long, and I think that they knew, look, this is our gimmick. This is about how long we can stretch this. This is how much we can keep the attention and the tension going for. We're going to stick to 80 minutes. And I applaud them for that, for doing it. Because it pretty much rises and falls on Rosamund Pike and Matthew Rhys's faces. Because that's all you're with. I mean, and you don't feel the film. You don't feel like you're in a car for the whole time. Like you don't go, oh my god, we change the scenery, won't you? Or come on, go somewhere else. Oh my word, stretch your legs. You never really feel that because of the way the film is done. The way the film is done and the way the camera work is done and the different angles they use. And I think the revelations as they're going along and the dynamics between the husband and wife, between the daughter and the mother, the daughter and the father, they keep changing and interplaying and going on and making you go, oh yeah, okay, cool, what's going on here? And it's a kind of film that when it finishes, like after the final shot, you're just left going, okay, I need to talk with somebody about this. Did you think what I think? This is what I thought happened. Is that what you thought happened? How about you? What did you think happened? Which is why I was hoping that at least one of you would have seen it, because I am sat on there going, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. And if anyone's listening to this and thinking, I'm going to watch the film, it's a film that is quite clever because the film carries on, and then right as the film ends, the first credit that you see tells you something about what happened in the film. So essentially it makes you go back and go, hang on a second. So if that's the case, hang on, let me think about this whole film differently, and everything like that. Yes, so it is. I'd heard about this credit. I had an idea of what the credit would be, and as the film went along, it turns out I was right, but I'm not saying what it was. But it makes the film become more of a conversational piece. And essentially, you sort of go back and you have to sort of like start watching. You know how it is when you watch The Sixth Sense, and you watch The Sixth Sense the first time, and then you see the reveal at the end. Then you go back to watch the film again and go, hang on, does that actually hold up with every single scene that we've seen? And then you go back and you go watch every single scene and go, this is the kind of film where you go, okay, if that's the case, if I go back and watch this film, does this theory hold up? Or maybe there's a different theory as to what's actually going on, what's going on with their daughter, what's going on with them, what are they actually hearing? I think it's a very, very well done film. I think it's a very well done film. I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of the things where there's all tension and you're trying to get and so there were bits where I don't think it was that I was bored. I think it was just that I needed something else to do to sort of like as a pressure release valve that I did, and I was almost alone in the cinema. I did sort of like go, okay, cool, let's go do something else now. Okay, cool, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this tension thing. What's happening? Werewolves? Don't know. So it's like, so yeah. So all in all, I think it's one of these things where Personally, I would give it a 3 for my enjoyment because that's not the kind of story I enjoy. But I think the performances are brilliant. I think the setup is good. I think that they're very economical in the way they use the setting, and the gimmick doesn't overstay its welcome. The gimmick doesn't overstay its welcome, so I think it's quite good, and I think from a film craft point of view, it's a 4. I'm going to say a 4, even though my personal experience was a bit of a 3 because I'm not that big a fan of the Saw stories. So that's that done. Let's go